Today we are talking about equivalent fractions, and we are going to discover what is happening to the numbers when we create equivalent fractions. Hopefully, through the use of models, you will see what we can do to the numbers to create equivalent fractions. Well, we know first that equivalent fractions are different fractions that represent the same number. So I know that 1/2 has the same value as 2/4. You should have this piece of paper in front of you and on the side that says discover equivalent fractions. It will have a 14 up at the top. Well, we know that equivalent fractions are the same amount of one whole, or the same part of one whole. Oops. Gonna make this a little smaller. Same amount of one whole. But one fraction is cut into more parts. So I'm going to write more parts in here. Equivalent fractions are the same amount of one whole, but one fraction is cut into more parts. You have several models of 1/2 below, and or it's a whole model, but 1/2 is shaded. We're going to use horizontal lines to cut each part into the number of pieces named, and then we'll name the new fraction that we created. Okay, so in our first step, we need to cut each piece into 2 more pieces. Remember, a horizontal line is this direction. So we're going to take our pencil. We're not going to cut with scissors. We're going to draw it with a pencil. We're going to make a horizontal line across, cutting it into pieces. Now, what do you notice about my pieces? I'm hoping that you notice that they are equal as much as they can be when I'm drawing a line. So we want to make sure that we're not making our line up here because these aren't equal, or down here. We have to draw our line so that we create 4 equal pieces. Well, now what part of our whole is shaded? It isn't 1 out of 2 anymore. Now it is 2 out of 4 parts. Okay. Well, now we need to cut each piece into 3, and I think it would be good if we added this in. Equal pieces. That's the key here. We want to cut our pieces into equal pieces. 3 equal pieces. So I'm going to start kind of right up here and draw all the way across. And then I'm going to cut the rest in half all the way across. Might need to move this one just a little bit. There we go. That looks a little better. So now my 1/2 is not 1 out of 2 pieces anymore. I want you to pause the video and I want you to answer, what's our new fraction that is shaded? Well, I hope you came up with, 3 out of 6. Because we have 3 parts shaded, but our total number of pieces is 6. All right, let's move up. Before we move on to cutting each piece into 4 equal pieces, what do you notice is happening to our fractions? We cut each piece into 2 pieces. and we went from 1/2 to 2/4. Then we cut each piece into 3 equal pieces, and we went from 1/2 to 3/6. Now our fractions have changed. But has the value changed? No. Did we shade more in? No, we didn't. All we did was cut it into more pieces. Okay, I want you to pause the video and I want you to cut each piece. I want you to start here where you will cut each piece into 4 equal pieces and give me a fraction. And start it up when everyone is done. And let's see if you have the same fraction that I do. Okay, your model should look like this. When we cut it into 4 pieces, we actually only draw 3 lines because each line creates 2 pieces. So you should have 3 lines creating 4 pieces, and your fraction should be 4 out of 8. We have 4 shaded out of 8 equal parts. All right. Let's do one more. You're going to cut each piece into 5 equal pieces. And let's see what fraction you get. Push play when you're done. Okay, your model should have 4 lines across. And was your new fraction 5 out of 10? We had 5 shaded out of 10 equal pieces. Do you agree? If your model does not look like mine, please press pause and make sure it does. Make sure all of your models look like mine. Well, let's take a quick look and see if we can find a pattern. What is actually happening to our numbers in our fraction as we create our equivalent fractions? When we cut our model into 2 pieces, it went from 1/2 to 2/4. When we cut our model into 3 pieces, it went from 1/2 to 3/6. When we cut our model into 4 equal pieces, it went from 1/2 to 4/8. And last, when we cut our model into 5 equal pieces, it went from 1/2 to 5/10. What is the relationship between the numbers or the pattern? What do you notice? I want you're in your table to come up with one thing you notice about what is happening to the numbers in our fractions. What did you notice was happening to the numbers? Did you notice that we were multiplying? Our numbers increased, but our actual value of the fraction did not increase. Just like we said before, we didn't shade more parts. Our shaded parts stayed the same, but we represented the shaded part through a different number. So make sure you're on the side that says patterns with equivalent fractions. 1/3 of each figure below is shaded. Use horizontal lines to cut each rectangle in the number of pieces named. Of course, make sure your pieces are equal. Name the new fraction you create. When you cut each part into more pieces, you are blank the numerator and the denominator by that number. Well, what are we doing to the numerator and the denominator? We're multiplying. So what you're going to do is you are now going to do this side by yourself. C, you need to follow the instructions on the left. Cut each piece into 2 equal pieces. Then, well, I'll do the first one with you. How about? Let's do the first one together. So we're going to cut each piece into 2 equal pieces. Right down the middle, horizontally. And I know that my new fraction is, well, we have 2 shaded parts out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, what did we multiply times 1 to get 2? Well, 1 times 2 is 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, I want you to complete the rest of the problems below, and then don't forget to fill in the sentence. Multiplying the numerator and denominator by the same number gives a sum. What did we create today? What did it give us? When everyone is done, you will play a Kahoot game on equivalent fractions.